In this tutorial, I am going to share my top 5 wash and go or curl setting tips to help you get more definition and longevity in your style. This is my friend Kim, and if you are not familiar with her, you can check her out on Instagram because the girlie is all about her fashions, and I personally love her style. Kim has very fine strands with low density and a wave and spiral shaped curl pattern that shrinks about 40% or so. If you've kept up with the tutorials I've been sharing lately, you have also seen a video featuring my friend Kelly's first wash and go, and her hair type is the opposite of Kim's, high density and tight texture. So I will be referencing some tips from both of these categories of hair type so you can apply what fits you best. Tip number 1, start with a clean palette. Styling products work best on clean hair. The wash process is where you will get the moisture you are looking for into your hair, not hair milks or other miscellaneous products. Literally, washing your hair is where the moisture magic happens. The Scalp Clarifier and Ultimate Hydrator shampoo are designed to gently exfoliate your follicles, ensure pH balance to your scalp, remove old product, and insert botanicals, essential oils, and repairing protein your hair absolutely needs to be healthy. Even if you need to reset your hair mid-week because it's gotten too frizzy or dry, or if you're outside a lot, using the moisturizing co-wash will remove the old product, hydrate and condition in one step so you can style fresh. Because piling product on top of old product, you will mainly be creating a sticky, flaky mess to deal with afterwards. The goal is to make it to your next wash day, but sometimes you just can't, and that's okay. Once your hair is clean, using the elasticity restoring treatment is going to help your hair be less frizzy, more defined, and protected during and after styling. This treatment has a blend of botanicals, essential oils, and hydrolyzed quinoa to ensure the cortex of your strands have what they need while sealing and smoothing the cuticle to trap it all in, which helps prevent rapid moisture loss over the days. This is a game of consistency. You have to train your hair. Setting your foundation each week with these cleansers and conditioners will have a huge impact on the health of your hair by balancing what it needs to be stronger, retain more moisture, which means less breakage and frizz. Every time you all ask me about what to do to moisturize your hair, I say you get moisture in the wash process. Doesn't matter what texture, density, where your grandmama and them are from, the moisture magic you are looking for is in the wash process. That's it. I am going to section Kim's hair, and while I start setting her curls, let me give you a quick refresher on product categories, which leads me to tip number 2. Select your styling products based on the outcome you want. Leave-in conditioners are exactly what they say. A leave-in version of a conditioner you don't have to rinse out. These can provide added slip, weight, and hydration boost to the hair. You don't necessarily have to use one if you have deep conditioned your hair. These are totally optional. You may find that you don't need it. Now, leave-in treatments are a little different. Leave-in treatments, like the curl primer, are providing extra protection and assistance to solve whatever issue it's formulated for. In this case, it's made to hydrate, protect from styling and environmental damage, and prime your curls to get more definition. Lotions and cream stylers will have more of a supple finish as you apply them and usually have a soft to medium hold. They will be more flexible to sleep on and have more weight to hold clumps of curls together. Foams and mousse are usually good for definition, and if you have any type of curl pattern damage, they can be easy to work with because they won't flake. These types of stylers have less hold overall and are volumizing, meaning your hair is going to swell more over the days if they are used alone. However, you can usually layer these with a lotion or cream underneath to give it more weight and a little bit more clumping power hold. Now, gels are the problematic friend you love to pieces, but you never know how she's gonna act when you head out to the function. While gels give more hold, they flake more easily than other categories of products because of the casting ingredients in their formulas. They often don't like to be mixed with thick creams. They don't like to be overly fluffed after setting. Sometimes they can be harder to sleep on if it has a strong hold because the weight of your head is flattening out the curls. With any product type, you'll have to try different application methods and mixes to find what you like best. Here are some things to consider based on texture and density. For fine, looser texture, low density hair like Kim has, less product is better. I am applying a little curl primer, brushing that through, then layering styling potion, then a little bit of the defining gel on top so it doesn't set with too much hold. This is going to allow her curls to have more movement and volume. The more texture you have, the less layering of products you should do to prevent pockets of product clumping in between the curves of your strands that oftentimes will lead to a sticky film or even flaking in some cases. If you have very dense hair, you have very tightly textured hair, like my friend Kelly, the hair will need the full capacity of the gel to hold and keep the curls in place, which is why I did not insert the styling potion underneath the gel when setting her wash and go. You can find a link to her full wash and go video below this one. Tip number 3, use a brush to evenly distribute product from roots to ends and finger coil, shingle, or use a curl clumping tool to set each section. Section your hair before you start applying product so you can focus and stay organized. Keep a spray bottle handy. Applying product to wet hair helps it distribute more evenly so you can use less. For Kim's texture, I am using my fingers to rake hair into clumps that aren't necessarily perfect. Again, I am trying to allow movement and volume, so if I clump it too perfectly, it's not going to expand or be all that movable when it dries. But notice how I am really massaging the product in, not just recklessly swiping it on. Look how I am using just a tiny bit, getting it pulled through, and then adding a tiny bit more of product where needed. This is very mindful, very demure. When I get to the crown and perimeter pieces in the front, I am going to take a neater approach and coil those pieces together more since they will be exposed and want to frizz first. Kim has seborrheic dermatitis, so I am trying to keep product off her scalp as much as possible so it doesn't become irritated or itchy so quickly after washing. Additionally, if you want volume, keeping product about a ½ inch away from the scalp is going to help with that a lot. On the flip side, for Kelly's hair, you notice I was being very diligent about neatly clumping every piece of hair to get that definition and hold. Kelly's hair is going to be full in appearance no matter what because she just has a lot of hair. If I loosely raked her hair like I'm doing Kim's, it would be a fro on day one. If you are working on figuring out your best combinations of styler or which type to use, create an experiment. Isolate the variables. Divide your hair into quadrants and on one section apply one product, and on another layer that product with something else, and another combo on section 3 and another on section 4. That gives you 4 different scenarios to compare outcomes. You can take a quarter size amount of each product you are wanting to use, blend them together in the palms of your hands and see how they mix. If they mix seamlessly, you should get a good outcome in your hair. If they don't and they start to curdle or get clumped up, it doesn't mean that they can't be mixed. You just have to be good at knowing how much of each to use and play around with it. Also, read the directions on the product because they usually tell you if you should consider putting something else with it or if it's better applied on its own. The biggest takeaways on product application are wetting the section before applying product unless you are only using a foam or mousse because those are mostly water to begin with. Making sure you evenly distribute each product in between applications. Making sure that you use less product and take your time and massage that product into the hair while situating the curls. Products with hold lose some of their ability to do so fully, or in some cases can easily flake when you layer them, so you'll have to use less. If you can see lots of product froth sitting on the hair, you have too much product. You need to blot it away with a microfiber towel to prevent sticky film or flaking. And for some of you, your natural dexterity or just your ability to get your hands to do the right motions is what you need to practice and focus on more. And finally, when it comes to curl definition, what your hair will do is directly tied to the health of your hair. Wash and goes are wholly reliant on your natural curl pattern. you cannot beat your hair into submission. If you have any structural or chemical damage, you will have a hard time clumping your hair neatly without copious amounts of products and endless frustration. You may also find that you struggle with products flaking or not holding well for several days. If you feel like you cannot get defined results, you've got lots of frizz or puffy roots in midsections, no matter what you do or try, I have a tutorial all about curl pattern damage, how you can spot it and treat it, that I will link you to below this video to help you. Tip number 4, sit under a hooded dryer or diffuse. Now, if air drying works for you, you're perfectly happy with it, that's cool, you can carry on. For the rest of y'all, if you are struggling on the finish, here's the rule of thumb to follow. If you want more retained stretch, very neat defined finish, basically what you see when your hair is wet, sit under a hooded dryer. If you want more volume, movement immediately, and have less density or texture, you can diffuse to fill in your shape. Diffusers are volumizing tools. If you don't want more of a fluff in your finish, don't use it. Also, if you want volume, you'll have to lay off the super strong hold stylers. The more hold you have, the less the hair can swell. The trick to getting a clean finish with diffusing where it's not overly frizzy is to let the hair sit for about 30 minutes or so that product really clings to the hair and settles in, or you can pop under your hooded dryer for about 10 minutes. Then when you're diffusing, try not to throw the hair around a lot so you don't break your curl clumps open while it's wet. And when everything is completely dry, make sure you finish off with the cool shot to seal everything in. This is a new dryer from FHI Heat, and y'all, it is my new fave. It's super lightweight, insanely quiet, comes with 6 attachments that lock on so they won't fall off when you're using them, 4 different heat settings, 3 speeds, and it costs less than the Dyson dryer. I have a link and discount code below for you if you want to check it out. Tip number 5, get some finishing products in your stash. No matter how you decide to set your curls, finishing products are your friends. Want shine? Use silk oil or oil sheen. Need more hold or about to be out and about all day? That's what hairspray is for. The products you set your hair with are going to oxidize and lose that initial sheen. You can also use a wax stick for your perimeter and crown flyaways if you don't like edge gel. If you are struggling with edge gel, it's because of how you're applying it. Edge gels need to bond with the strands to set. If there's any oily product or anything underneath it, it's not going to stick. Wipe your edges clean with a wet microfiber towel, then apply your edge gel, comb or brush it into place with some tension, and it should act better. You can also take a scarf and tie it down while you get dressed to really set it flat and allow the gel to bind. You should also consider keeping a holding spray around for those days where you're going to be in and outside a lot. You want to make sure that those curls hold and help repel some humidity. There are lots of options that have flexible hold that are not going to make your hair crunchy or difficult to sleep on. I'll link you to a couple of my favorites in the written notes.
Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Look at those curls. Yeah. I love it.
See, just a little extra twirl in the front.
Yes. Perfection. Look at that. Oh my gosh. The bounce.
And that's how we sleeping at night.
I'm gonna put a pineapple and then a bonnet and then I have my satin pillowcase.
Okay. We lay down.
Yes.
And then in the morning what happens?
In the morning I take it down, I let it breathe maybe while I'm brushing my teeth, just to let it fall naturally, and then I'll spray some water wherever there's like the indent from the scrunchie. Underneath. And then, because I like it, gives me a little stretch too. So in the morning, hopefully it'll come down a little bit more like right here. I don't add more product, I just do a little water to just reactivate the product that's already in there.
And just like scrunch it.
And then maybe a little bit on the edges if the edges are like, you know, frizzy from the nighttime. But yeah, that's it. This is just the most pretty thing. I feel so pretty with this. It's so amazing. Yeah. So shiny.
And it was so quick.
Yeah, it was.
The diffusing was
good. The diffuser was good.
Yes.
That was pretty amazing.
Yeah, this bad boy gets her done very quickly.
So awesome.
If you are saying to yourself, Mo, this all sounds so easy. Well, that's because it's supposed to be. You should not be at war with your hair. The tips I give are repetitive and simple because that's what healthy hair care is. I hope these tips help you improve your wash and go routine. And as always, you can leave me questions below this video and I'll do my best to help you out. You will find links in the About section below this video and written notes on the tips and tutorials page at MoKnowsHair.com.